Guys, we're going to be doing new segments, I guess you could call it, called Does It Hold Up? We're just going to be talking about movies from, genre movies from the 90s and early 2000s, then see if they are as good as we remember or if they are as bad as we remember.
Technically, the Super Mario episode is the pilot, the one that just came out.
Yeah,
Super Mario Brothers episode, that's technically the pilot. So if you like that, you'll love it. And if you hadn't seen it, punch yourself in the face and go watch it right now.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. We're gonna be talking about great movies like Double Dragon, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Hook. It's gonna be a blast. Tank Girl.
Tank Girl.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. But enough about the future. Let's talk about the present. Or we're going to be talking about the future today as well. Hello, you beautiful nerds.
We're talking about the past, too.
Yeah, talk about the future and the past, which is still our future. There's a lot of time. This is very accurate. The time is very much the theme of today.
Time.
Hello, you beautiful nerds. Welcome to the Drunk Banthas podcast, where we talk about sci-fi, fantasy, horror, and all the popular art that we love. Also, we do it drunk. I'm joined as always by my co-host and brother Bill. How you doing?
I'm doing quite well. I'm ready to embark upon a journey with you all.
Yes, that's right. Me too. I am very excited because we have a very special show. We're gonna be talking about
gargoyles.
It's our first time talking about.
No,
might as well be talking about.
I
looked
at the cast. I looked at this when I was, when we were doing our research, and I'm just like, well, this is gargoyles, right? That's what we're talking about.
It's crazy how much carryover from Gargoyles and Star Trek Next Generation there is, as far as the cast goes. You're like, what is that? Demona? Did I just hear Demona? If you're like washing dishes and you just hear a voice, you'll
hear Demona.
You'll hear Xanatos.
Definitely. Yeah, you're like, oh, that's Xanatos.
But yeah, this is our first time talking about Star Trek on the podcast. And even though St. Patrick's Day just passed, we talking about Sir Patrick's Day today. We talk about Sir Patrick Picard up in this bitch. Jean-Luc Picard.
Jean-Luc.
My favorite Star Trek captain. And
he's only your favorite because he's the best. God damn it! We won't let the ship. No!
He went straight. He had some straight crazy moments in this, and I loved it.
Oh man,
we're talking about Star Trek: First Contact.
Yeah, and there'll be a lot of reenactments. Just so you guys know.
Just so you know, we're going there. But before we get into this, what is your relationship with Star Trek? Did you love Next Generation?
Are you asking me for this? Is because we're on a podcast that you're asking?
Yes, of course.
Otherwise,
so everybody knows.
I just want everybody to know that it felt like a very stupid question, and he did not say he was going to ask me that. Because I was like, I'm like, nigga, you know my relationship with, weirdo. I have. It's weird to say it like the way you just asked me. Well, my mom was a big fan of Star Trek. I always grew up a big Star Trek fan, and I know all of the ensigns that died, and I know all of the planets that they've been to. I love Jean-Luc Picard. I liked what's his name, the other captain before that. Yeah, he was cool too.
You mean what's it called? Damn, Shatner? Kirk.
Yeah. Kirk. Captain Kirk. I liked him too. So, yeah, that's my relationship with Star Trek. Mm-hmm. I like it. I hate talking to people about it because people like it way more than I do.
Yeah, it is. I wasn't a huge fan either when I was a kid. I mean, like you said, we watched it because our mom watched it. Not so much older Star Trek, but Next Generation. But recently,
both.
I've gotten back into Star Trek Next Generation. I started watching Next Generation again. Mainly, Lower Decks was my way back in to the lore. I was like, you know what, this is a pretty great universe. And then I just started rewatching old shit like this and DS9. But there's a lot of history going on with this specific movie. We'll get into all that a little bit later. But yeah, I'm very excited about this whole movie. It's like it's one of the best Star Trek movies, which there are some bad ones for sure.
Yep. I mean, well, this starts out really 90s.
Yeah, for sure. This
should have been on Does It Hold Up? But like, because I mean, the first 13, maybe 10 minutes is all credits. And it's like the credits that you see at the end of the movie is you never see credits like this. I've never seen this many credits. Well, and it's just the names of people. It's no like stars or no planets. You don't drive by nothing. You don't fly by or see nothing. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's just like a lot of these.
But it opens up with Jean-Luc Picard inside the Borg ship being assimilated into the Borg. And
he's having flashbacks of I think this is supposed to be 6 years after he was assimilated, like on the show, and they had their whole Borg storyline there.
Right. The it's odd. It's like I always felt like the Borg was on the show. Borg was like the jumping the shark for the television series,
right?
And it just kind of they could never do nothing bigger than the Borg,
right?
So
it was definitely
killed the show, in my opinion. Humble opinion.
Yeah, I'm
Borg killed the show because it's just powerful. You're never gonna meet nobody else like the Borg that's more menacing as an opponent,
right?
For Jean-Luc as the Borg are. And they should have tried to probably like go into other people's lives a little bit better, like make somebody else go through some kind of crazy shit with somebody else, with another species. But yeah, that's just my opinion. Sorry, we're getting off the movie topic.
No. And I'm rewatching now, and I haven't even gotten to the Borg storyline. I've only gotten to just started the second season, but yeah, they were like a huge, formidable threat, and yeah, like even 6 years after it happens on the show, like chronologically or whatever, it's still big pain in the ass, and it's kind of weird that this is the time that they're deciding that they're gonna enact this crazy plan that they're apparently going through in this movie. It's a pretty good plan, considering they have like time travel technology. It's like, sure, why not do this?
Yeah, and I do like how, like, okay, the Borg are,
by the way, it's the 24th century for anybody who doesn't know.
So yeah, it's not now. It's not set in the present, but yeah, like it's really weird to me how they. It's weird to me how they start out. They get attacked, or the Federation's being under attack. The Borg is on its way to Earth, and they trying to man up over there. We gotta get ready to fight the Borg, which Jean-Luc knows that they're gonna lose if they fight him without him. Because he's the shit.
Right.
And if you're not fighting with me, you're going to die. That's how these movies work. If I'm not there, you're going to die.
Yeah.
So then they tell him not to come, and he decides he's going to go. So they go anyway, which obviously is expected, right?
Yeah. Enterprise is not going to stay out of the fight.
My thing was, though, when they get there and, the Borg win and they, Jean-Luc gives them a blow that damages their ship.
Right, because he has
the Borg get ready to take off. Will look like they're running right into a kamikaze mission straight into Earth, but then they start picking up senses or picking up signs of temporal interference, and then they just like, oh yeah, they just going in time. I was like, man, this is a show of scientists. See, so Star Trek Discovery, they like to just fucking bloviate about what all the science is doing and then try to explain to you like, no, just tell me it's a temporal interference. Oh, they're going back in time. They must be trying to go back in time to change everything. Like, boom, that's all I need to know. Boom, that's it. Right. Don't be giving me over exposition bullshit bloviated ass fucking statement about science that's not even real.
Yeah, it's
Like that's what
It's-
makes Discovery a terrible show.
yeah, it's a very lean movie. It's like nice and short. Sorry, there's a dog. But yeah, it's a very lean movie. It's pretty short. Shout outs to Jonathan Frakes, who plays William T. Riker. He directed this movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Commander Riker, you did a good job. You did quite a good job.
Yeah, it's paced really well, and it's written by two guys, Brandon Braga, who went on to write Mission Impossible 2, but also written by Ronald D. Moore, who would of course go on to develop the insanely popular sci-fi series Battlestar Galactica, and more recently developed the show For All Mankind.
And you know, if you like all these here facts, that's why you come here. You know what I'm saying? Hit the
That's
subscribe
how you come
button, baby.
here.
Hit the subscribe button.
And I'm pretty sure he got the Star Trek writing job, like the writing for TNG, from like a fan submission like thing. Like it was like some sort of fan contest back when they did that kind of shit in the 90s, where they were like, write your best Star Trek thing, and whoever won got to write an episode of the show, and then he became fucking Ronald D. Moore.
Times they are a changing.
Yeah, they don't do that shit no more. But I mean, it's obviously not a bad idea. Shit, the dude couldn't.
Back in the day, when I was a kid, I'm not a young anymore.
But enough Star Trek history. But yeah, like that's just to emphasize your point. Quick, moves by pretty fast, without having to over-explain shit. So we're going back in time. Borg has this plan to go back in time. Back to where? When did they go?
Future.
Back to the future.
They really did.
Yeah, April 4th, 2063.
Yes.
Which is
Great Scott!
which is why we're celebrating today.
That's now. Great Scott! 1.21 gigawatts. April the 4th, 2063.
It's obviously 40 years from now, but I thought, it's interesting.
I'm gonna live to see Vulcans. That's what you're telling me.
That'd be cool. Man, imagine if we're still doing this fucking podcast.
Imagine the disappointment. Imagine the disappointment in America when there ain't no goddamn Vulcans that come up out the sky.
Oh, man.
And we're still dealing with the same problems that we're dealing with in 1963.
Hey, or maybe it's like a couple of years off, like when the Cubs won the World Series.
Oh, yeah. So a year off, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was just 1 year off.
Because something changed. Somebody changed something. You know what changed?
Them goddamn Bernstein Bears. I'm just joking.
Man, the Bernstein Bears. I don't give a fuck. I am never saying Berenstain Bears. Who the fuck? Where the fuck? Yo, matter of fact, because there's so many of us, there's so many more of us than there are of them. People, we got to band together. Everybody who remembers the Berenstain Bears,
Put it in the comments.
Put it in the not just put it in the comments. Meet me outside, baby. Walk into the streets.
We're taking to the streets.
Walk into the streets in solidarity. Because it was Berenstain.
Yeah, just walk into the streets and say, Berenstain!
And I will shout with you, brother. Sisters. Transgenders and cisgenders alike.
We must band together in this common, whatever this is.
We must band together in this common sense of continuity in one mind. We are together.
Gotta get the timeline back on track. We gotta get the Cubs.
The timeline is fucked
year.
up. We gotta get Vulcans here. It's too late for the Cubs. We gotta get the Vulcans back.
Yeah, and
This has been your public service announcement. My name is Bill, and I approve this message. Drunk Banthas.
But yeah, now realizing the Borg have been using time travel to change the past, the Enterprise follows this sphere into the vortex, and they arrive in April 4th, 2000.
Mr. Hawk, pursuit.
Engage. The day before, Zephram Cochrane is supposed to have his historic warp drive flight that leads to humanity's first encounter with an alien life, who happen to be the Vulcans. You guys know the Vulcans, fucking Spock and his whole crew.
I just mentioned them, yeah.
Yeah.
Vulcans, baby.
Vulcans, baby, Vulcans.
Also, we find out, like right when they're getting ready to go back in time, we find out that Jean-Luc can hear the Borg.
Yeah.
Which I don't think they had said in the TV series.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they...
That was like a big reveal, like, boom.
Yeah. I wanted to watch that episode, but I was like, I don't want to go out of order. Because I'm
pretty sure I already... I mean, whenever I rewatch Star Trek Next Generation, it's always the Borg episodes. It's the Q episode, first Q episode, and the Borg episode.
Yeah. Man, yeah, the Q episodes are always weird.
Yeah.
He's such a little dick.
Yeah, he's a fucking asshole. I'm like, yo, Picard, you are the most patient goddamn man in the galaxy. Literally. Because the only person who can deal with this crazy puck-like creature.
Yeah, I'm wondering how many Federation ships he's like have been destroyed, and it's all because of Q, and like we would never know, just because it would probably be reported as something else. It's like, oh, another Federation ship flew into the sun for some strange reason.
It wouldn't even be reported. He could just blip everybody's mind and never even knowing that it happened.
That's a good point. You just blip the whole thing out of existence. He's probably done that countless times.
Who was he played by?
I forget that actor's
Gary
name.
Shanley?
No, it's not Gary Shanley.
The guy who looks like Gary Shanley.
He's definitely got a Gary Shanley face.
The guy who looks like Gary Shanley. Everybody knows him. Everybody knows him.
Everybody knows him.
He used to be on the guy who looks like Gary Shanley show. You never seen that show?
Yeah, that was a big hit on there. Yeah,
it was on HBO.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it was a big one. Yeah, I really like that actor. He's always down to play. He's one of the reasons I got back into fucking TNG, because he reprised his role on Lower Decks.
But yeah, like so, I've always watched the Borg episodes when I rewatch, and I'm pretty positive they never mentioned that he can hear the Borg.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that definitely
he can hear the Borg. I can hear them, Beverly.
Yeah, it helps them shoot down the cube initially, and they go from one geometric shape to another. Cube to sphere, and the sphere goes out. And then
Very
they
easy to do when you're doing computer animated stuff, computer generated stuff.
Yeah, what did you think of this?
And a square.
What did you think of that opening battle sequence? Because this is actually more actiony than your typical Star Trek episode or movie.
For 2 seconds, it didn't last. It didn't last at all. It was brilliant. It was brilliant. Some people. I remember people who had complaints about this movie when it came out because it was just, very grounded. Mm-hmm. And I don't think people really look to that when they think Star Trek.
Mm. Well, yeah.
Clearly they had their space episode. I think you had enough space, stuff. Mm-hmm. I liked it. I'm just saying. I'm pretty positive that was some of the chatter at the beginning.
Yeah,
in the present when it came out, you know what I'm saying? Because I can't. This movie's timey wimey wibbly wobbly stuff, so it's hard. I hate when we talk about time episodes or time movies, time travel episodes or time travel movies, because it's hard to talk about it in a present. I don't want to say word. I'm trying not to use tense, past or present tense right now. Go ahead, just keep going.
But yeah, later. I like that whole action sequence. I thought it was cool. And I do feel like this is a little bit more actiony than your typical episode of TNG. They have their actiony episodes, but more often than not, it's like more philosophical, and that's kind of what separates it from Star Wars. But it's pretty fast paced movie overall.
I did like how they blew the Borg ship right out of the motherfucking sky. Just boom, 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 boom. Bam, bam, bam. I was like, damn. I remember the Borg being a little harder to defeat. But then, surprise, the Borg transported themselves onto the Starship Enterprise. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. We've got a conflict. Now we got a movie.
We got ourselves a movie, people. Yeah, because probably in your if it was just an episode of Star Trek, we would just have the storyline about them meeting Cochrane and trying to get the timeline back on track. But now we got this other storyline where Jean-Luc Picard has to face his fears and his trauma from being assimilated, and while battling for the survival of the Enterprise in the skies. He ends up after the Enterprise shoots down the sphere. We have some of the the captain returns to the ship. First.
They beam down.
They beam down to Bozeman, Montana, to make sure it's not too. To make sure that the Phoenix ship is not too badly damaged, and Zephyr Cochrane can make his historic flight. Picard has Cochrane's assistant Lily Sloan sent back up to the Enterprise for medical attention, played by Alfre Woodard, Black All-Star, and the captain returns back to the ship, leaving William T. Riker, director of the movie, on Earth to make sure the Phoenix flight proceeds as planned. What did you think of this whole split up of the team? We got Geordi and the gang and Riker and everybody hanging out doing the
I thought it was
stuff.
beautiful. Gotta get it all crazy, right? Gotta get all the teams separated somehow. Then different conflicts. And, this is how you do people. This is how you do multi-character based television shows and movies. You don't try to tell everybody's story the whole time. You give people quality lines that help move the story along, and you just tell the story. You don't try to worry about making everybody fucking happy and getting the same amount of time on set and screen. Fuck that. It's not helping the story.
Yeah, this is very economical with the screen time with everybody. You never feel like anybody gets slighted. Everybody has nice little character moments like Geordi and Diana. Riker obviously gets a lot of screen time. I mean, he's the director of the movie. He's got to get on there. Plus, he's just a handsome fella. Jonathan Frakes, handsome man.
Hello, Demona. Hello, Demona.
Xanatos. And then later...
I'm sorry, doctor. I can only get 3 words out and sound like him.
that was a good Riker.
Yeah.
But
it was my Xanatos.
That was my Xanatos, damn it. But yeah, Picard has Cochrane's assistant. Yeah, they take Lily Sloan up to the Enterprise, but once Lily awakens, she kind of freaks out. And this is around the time where, like you mentioned, they realize that the Borg have boarded the ship and they're trying to
kill everybody. No, assimilate everybody.
Yeah, the whole simulation thing is just very creepy, and we actually we get to see some more assimilation going on when Data gets captured in the middle of a big scuffle with the Borg, and he has this whole sexy philosophical conversation with the Borg Queen. What did you think of their whole relationship? And
gross. One word, gross. I thought it was cool though how they the CGI. I can't talk enough about the special effects. CGI in this movie was fucking amazing.
It was really good.
I don't know why it was better than shit that we see right this very fucking second. But please, if you're a special effects person, please reach out to us. I would love to have the conversation just based on this. Watching this, you know what? We got to reach out to those dudes.
The Corridor Crew.
We got to work. What's their name again?
Corridor Crew.
Corridor Crew. Y'all check them out. They got a great channel. They go over exactly what we're talking about right now. I'm very serious about this, even though I don't sound serious when I'm talking.
No. I'm right.
I'm very serious about this. The special effects were so much better. And when they were able to bring down the lady's torso And like, well, she's not even her torso is just like her chest up with the spine hanging down, and just bring that down. And basically, she's just all shoulders. Great way of like having some sexual thing that's not sexual, but like also like they put her down in like a corset like Borg body, and so it's like at the same time they're trying to, they're still trying to sexualize the whole situation because her and to hype up the relationship that's about to come between her and Data.
Right. Yeah.
That was great. And great use of CGI to tell a story. And it was fucking beautiful. Like it looked fucking dope. In 1997.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, and that's one of those scenes where I kind of like remembered.
Yes, iconic scene.
But I wasn't expecting it to hold up as well.
I was waiting on it.
Yeah.
Literally waiting on it so I could be like, yep, that didn't hold up. But this held up. You know what? This might have to go into the held up pilot as well, like pilot 1 and pilot 2. Because this basically is like we were anticipating this not to be as good of a movie.
Yeah, and I do remember like because I watched it during the pandemic, or like during 2020, just like throwing on Star Trek stuff, and I was like, oh, this movie is good. And I think that was like my first time really sitting down and watching it, because like I watched it as a kid, whatever. But this is like my first time watching it this was my first time watching it with a critical eye, and yeah, even watching it again a couple days ago, it's just like, damn, this movie's good.
Yeah, it's really good, man. No, I don't know. It's just like I remembered it. It was just like I remembered it. But I probably watched it more times than you have in recent years. Because every once in a while, that's what I do. I just turn on something old that I liked growing up as a kid. I always be testing, is it still good? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm always checking, does it hold up? So I'm the does it hold up king out here by myself. I'm outside 10 toes down. Does it hold up? Yo, son. Hey, yo, son.
Hey, yo,
does it hold up, son?
They're like, what?
Hey, yo, son. Does it hold up? Yo, Double Dragon. Does it hold up?
A Goonies t-shirt. Does it hold up?
Does it hold up though? I mean, come on, now tell me, does it hold up?
Jurassic
Park. Hold on, son. I see you wearing Jurassic Park shoes.
Let me talk to you for a minute.
You got on Jurassic Park shoes.
Just let me talk to you for a minute.
We talk to you for a minute. Does it hold up though? You seen it? You seen it?
All right.
You ain't seen it?
What year?
What year did you see it? When did you last seen it? You ain't seen it in the last 3 years? Does it hold up? You don't know. I know. Look on drunkbanthas.com. Drunk Banthas. YouTube, fool.
We're going to issue an apology to the state of New York for this accent.
Why are you going to apologize for how they sound?
Yeah, that's fair. So yeah, Lily, Picard, and Worf, and the ship's navigator, Lieutenant Hawk. I forget this actor's name, but he'd be in a lot of shit. Oh, just a very, very white man.
He's always in these movies, but he never died. I mean, he never died. He died.
Yeah, he died in this one.
I was like,
he was a Minority Report. He was just kind of the guy who gets his ass beat by Tom Cruise the whole movie, but he never dies.
Yeah. He also did that weird. He did that weird Cadillac commercial when like things were like going towards towards hybrids, and he was they did that weird Cadillac commercial where he was like, "Fuck." He was basically like, "Fuck electric."
Right.
Who the fuck wants to do that?
Be American, goddamn.
Be American, because we ain't fucking pussies.
Like he has
other pussy ass Japanese cars and these pussy ass Chinese cars. Fuck that. We would never fucking buy nothing like that because we're not fucking pussies. That commercial.
Yeah, that was
fucking amazing.
Tits. And it was like almost like those Old Spice commercials because it's almost satirical, but
it is. It's like I know, but it is
truly.
It's true. They're trying to be so serious, and all they just needed to do is just replace it with fucks and pussies. Just never put it on TV and just let it circulate on the YouTubes, and that would have been like They probably would have actually gotten their.
Yeah,
that probably would have helped their cause. Actually, people probably would have actually fucked with it. Like, you know what?
You know, he's got a
fucking right.
You know that guy? He's like super Christian. He's got like some clause in his contract where he doesn't kiss anyone in his movie. So like, you'll never see a movie where he kisses anybody because he's like that faithful or whatever.
That guy?
Yeah, that guy with the
he's fucking crazy. He's crazy.
The actor's name, but yeah, he's
crazy. Shout out to you, Lieutenant Hawk.
Yeah, shout out to you, Hawk.
Actually, I don't even know if he has a rank. He always calls him Mister.
He's apparently a lieutenant, according to Wikipedia. Wikipedia is never wrong. I corrected some of their shit when I was putting these notes together. Actually, they're unreliable. So who knows? He might have just been a mister.
Well,
an ensign.
He's dead now, so.
yeah, he served his federation. But they regroup, and they as the Borg is continuing to assimilate more people on the decks, Worf suggests destroying the ship, just doing the self-destruct system. But Picard is like, nah, fuck that shit. And he calls Worf a coward. And Worf is like, dude, I will kill you.
You're afraid. You're afraid. I'm like, what? Worf gave him that, I will kill you where you stand. He says, if you were another man, I would kill you where you stand.
Yeah, he did not like that. I like that they got Worf back into this movie, though, because I'm pretty sure he leaves to go command the Defiant at the end of TNG. So it's nice that they brought him back to the Enterprise.
I have been commanded to go. I have been commanded to go command the. I'm sorry, I'm making myself laugh because I wasn't expecting to be able to do it. I have been commanded to go and captain the Defiant.
Yeah, the fucking
whatever.
That's a pretty good Michael Dorner. Another Gargoyles voice. He played Coldstone, I think was his name.
Coldstone.
Yeah.
Hello, brothers. Coldstone, dude. We're doing a Gargoyles episode. We might do that shit right now, dog.
How much time you got?
How much time you got? We gonna do another one right now.
Man, yeah, I would be down to like maybe when we do Patreon. When we get to the level we do Patreon, we'll do every episode of Gargoyles because I feel like Gargoyles needs a deep dive. You know what I'm saying?
Every episode of Gargoyles, it does need a deep dive. It does need a deep dive, dude. We can just do it. I am down. I don't need no Patreon. I don't need no goddamn Patreon to do that.
I feel you. But yeah. Then Picard, Lily goes to Picard and just like, hey, you're being pig-headed. You're being too full of yourself.
Mm-hmm. She was, the black person.
Yeah, Alfred
They
Wood.
didn't have a black person because Geordi was not around. He was on the ground.
Yeah, he was doing it.
And then, the psychiatrist, she was on the ground.
Right, yeah.
So she can't get in his mind. Because she's actually got the mental power to get up in people's mind.
Yeah,
they ain't
she's
do none of that.
Yeah.
They ain't do none of that. But why didn't she do that with old dude? You know what I mean?
Was Zephyr Cochrane?
Yeah, like why didn't she just do that with him? Like,
yeah, she decided she would take 6 shots of something called tequila.
Something called tequila. It's a primitive culture.
I liked all that shit too. It was really
fun.
Cute, like them just
jazz it up.
That was the lighter.
Get it?
That was the lighter storyline,
right?
For sure.
And they have like little moments like that, episode to episode, where it's very light.
Yeah,
but not as silly as that. That was probably as silly. That was probably as silly as any character has been seen on that show.
Yeah. It's beyond like because the first season they were definitely still trying to gain their footing. First season's rough. Actually, we'll talk about that a little bit later. But we will. Actually, we will. I have notes. But like you could really feel like this took all the best parts of the show and highlighted all the best elements of it. And yeah, like with what did you think of Lily and Picard's relationship? Because she's a new character to all this, and they're kind of a dynamic duo throughout most of the movie, shooting Tommy guns and shit.
It was cool. It was cool. I really didn't think about it. I mean, it was cool.
Well, yeah, she's kind of like learning about all the Federation.
This is what I thought. She, as always, is the biggest overactor in anything that she is in. Always the biggest overactor. Like, I kept thinking about Luke Cage when I was watching it. I just kept thinking about Luke Cage. And the whole time in Luke Cage, I was like, this lady is just overacting her ass off. And then rewatching this, I'm like, this is how she always is. This is how she always is. She's always like, at some point, she's going to give you that, listen here, nigga. like she's going to give you that at one point.
There's one point where...
And she always does this. Like, you know how every great actor has something that they do all the time? She always does this. I just... like, that's her thing. Like, I don't care what...
Big arm actor.
I don't give a fuck what she's performing in. Like, she could be in a comedy. She could be in a drama. She could be in a sci-fi. She's going to find some place to put that fucking crazy, scared, freaked out.
Yeah. And yeah, they use her really well in this movie too, with like especially the scene later where she's convincing him to self-destruct the ship, and he's just like not having it. He just like has a huge psychological pushback. No! It's like, God damn. Is there something that you want to talk about, Picard?
Yeah, well, I put my dick in this ship a couple of times. Man, you know how many space bitches I fucked on this motherfucker? I fucked more space bitches than anybody. I got more space pussy on this ship than anybody in the fleet. The history of the fleet.
In space, you just call it pussy. Right?
No, they on Earth. He's talking to her Earthling.
Oh yeah, that's true.
She never been out.
Yeah, that's
she never been out.
You gotta clarify.
She never been out in space.
Yeah, that's true.
He's like, bitch, I got all this space pussy. You want me to give up this space pussy? Look at this. Look where you standing right now. I fucked a green bitch right there. Pussy feels the same as Earthling. I didn't think it was going to be that way, but it did, and I found out. Pussies that didn't feel the same as Earthlings too, here in this ship.
And of course, they've been on this ship. They even mentioned in this that they've been on this Enterprise for 2 years, I think. Right. This is the Enterprise E, not the Enterprise D.
And this nigga is like really just tired of losing ships. It's really what it is. He's tired of losing ships. He's tired of losing to the Borg, and he's clearly having sex with those holograms. So. He's got all kinds of attachments.
He's very attached.
Kartz really, y'all just don't understand. He's really like about that pussy. He's just like Kirk, but he don't just be like about it. Like he don't be like, hey, give me some pussy. Hey, I'm Captain Kirk. Hey, he's not like that.
Yeah, he's more thoughtful.
Right. He's like, hey, baby girl, how you doing? Yeah, how you doing? Let me get you something to drink. Get you something to drink. Yeah. What's diplomatic issues like on your planet? Yeah.
While we're going
we talking about romantic shit.
Yeah. Well, since we're going in this direction, we might as well talk about the sexy philosophical times with the Borg Queen and Data, because
let me blow on your arm.
She's attaching skin to him so he can feel like humans can.
Let me blow on your arm, baby boy.
And there's an interesting, speaking of season 1, there's an interesting little moment where she's like, "Are you programmed with, like, are you fully functional?"
No, she says, "Can you experience love?"
Right,
and can you experience sex? And he's like, "No." He says, "If you're referring to whether or not I can perform sexually, I can. The answer is yes, and I am fully functional." And I'm like, oh shit, that nigga said I can fuck. I be fucking, and I got a big dick too. I ain't got no little
fully
dick.
Functional.
I got a big functional, fully baby, fully functional.
And then she asks him like, "How long has it been since?"
Man.
And she, nice half-baked reference. And she asked him how long was it been since he's used it, like those. You use those functions.
Just like every man, Android or no, he knows exactly how many days it's been since he's had sex the last time.
He says 8 years, 6 months, and whatever. And that is a reference to the last time he had sex, which was episode 3 of season 1. It was an episode where he fucks Tasha Yar, the head of security, because everybody's like on this weird horny virus. Like there's a weird virus going out that made everybody horny. And then he has sex with Tasha Yar, and then she's like at the end, she's like, "Don't ever talk about this ever again." And they just never bring that back up. But I thought that it was interesting that
he was raped.
He was like a reference to. Well, they made a point to say it was consensual.
He was sexually assaulted.
He wasn't assaulted. He was just, he was ghosted. He was used.
He was used.
She seduced him, and then she was like, "All right, don't tell nobody else about this."
And then so how it traumatized him. That's why it's been so long.
It's been a long time.
You don't even want to use it no more. Everybody's fuck is just gonna leave me.
And it's so weird. I wouldn't even because that's such a forgettable episode, and this season 1 is so forgettable in general. But I literally just saw that days before I rewatched this movie, so I just happened to pick up on that reference. It's so weird. But then Picard offers his he sends everybody off to escape the ship because he wants to self-destruct it, but he has to go confront the Borg Queen so he can actually functionally do it.
Yeah, because she's always existed and he knew her on the ship, but he didn't remember that shit for some reason.
Yeah, that's right, because I guess in
because it's called
retconning.
Yeah, I was about to say it's a fucking complete retcon. That's what the fuck it was.
Yeah, because there wasn't really a physical form of a leader of the Borg before, because they're just sort of
which
hive
Data
mind.
brings up like, wait a minute, we doing this? You can't be the Borg. There's no leader of the Borg. Like you're what? How? And then she explains it, and he asks no further follow-up questions.
Right.
It's just like, okay.
Oh, all right, cool.
If Data says it's okay, then it's okay.
Like we're doing this. This is the movie we're making. Which it's not a totally offensive retcon. It makes sense to have like a singular villain for the movie.
I'm okay with it as long as you make fun of yourself while you're doing it.
Yeah, nice little lampshade. But yeah, although Picard offers himself up to the Borg in exchange for Data's freedom and willingly become Locutus again. I think that was his Borg name, his African name.
Loitis? Locutus.
And then
wow.
Data refuses.
Oh, hold on, my stomach.
Ooh, you all right?
Yeah, I'm good. I just said Locutus. Like, why do I remember that? Why do I know this nigga's space name? His Borg name.
Hey, man.
Sorry, hold on. Okay, go ahead. I'm good.
Oh, okay. I'm going back and forth between whether I should be concerned for you or not. It's like, is this a bit or are you really? But yeah, Data refuses to leave. He deactivates the self-destruct and fires upon the Phoenix.
Pew pew.
And at the last moment, the torpedo misses, and the Queen realizes Data betrayed her. Then Data ruptures the coolant tank.
Not before saying a cool ass Arnold Schwarzenegger-like line.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Resistance is futile. Boom.
He's like, ain't that what y'all niggas like to say? Resistance is futile.
'Cause I'm coming in this bitch.
Yeah, that was a nice little actiony moment for Data. But yeah, he ruptures the coolant tank, and that corrosive vapor eats away at the biological components of the Borg. And then
they didn't have to blow the ship up.
Yay! Everything worked out pretty great. Which is a nice little change. The Enterprise doesn't have to.
Everything came together like butt cheeks.
Indeed.
Peanut butter and jelly.
Later, the Phoenix continues its warp flight successfully. And then later, the crew of the Enterprise sits back and watches a little bit of history happen as from a distance they see the Vulcans land and interact with Earthlings for the first time. What did you think of this nice
Energized
end?
It was great. It's like, if only we could have something shock the system of the people living on this planet so greatly, so deeply, that all poverty would end within less than 50 years of the whatever event that took place. I wish, I hope, I pray, I do whatever anybody does.
Yeah.
Sacrifice, blood sacrifices, sacrifice virgins, whatever we got to do to make something like this happen.
Make it happen. Yeah, it's
you should sacrifice your firstborn, or give your firstborn to the devil, or something.
Or something.
I don't know, but
just contribute.
Somebody
Get
do
off your
something.
ass.
Somebody do something. God damn it!
No, it's one of the interesting things. The most interesting things about this movie is that, the reason that this time is when the Borg decided to come. It was not only just to disrupt them meeting the Vulcans or whatever, but this is a very vulnerable time in Earthling. Because they just had their third huge world war that wiped out 2/3 of the population. They don't have any nuclear capabilities or anything like that. They're just kind of fucked. Earth is fucked and barely hanging on to survival as it is. So they were very open to just having their destiny be guided by someone, whether it be the Borg or the Vulcans. So this is an interesting time, which you hope that it wouldn't take us being shocked, almost bombed out of existence to do the right thing eventually.
Well, they weren't doing the right thing by that. They weren't. They had to have aliens come down.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, we do need alien interference too.
That's what I said. Whatever it is that needs to happen. I don't know what it needs to happen. It's just something that needs to galvanize the world together. I don't know. It's clearly not shooting kids in elementary schools and shit like that. That's clearly not.
Yeah, that's not
what's going to bring us together. Even though you'd think something like that would bring us together. It's clearly not bombings. It's clearly not a revolution, a coup, a fucking attempted coup on our capital. None of that is enough to bring any of us together for some reason. So hopefully it'd take a big alien coming out of the sky. I don't know. Right. I was like, have you been watching this movie? Have you been watching this movie?
Yeah.
I don't think that's how they are going to react.
Well, it is funny that even the guy who wrote this, one of the co-writers of this movie, Ronald D. Moore, he's developing For All Mankind, because I feel like that's one of the things, the themes of this movie and the themes of that show is what are these things that if you change in history, if we made these different choices, whether technology wise or moral wise, does that help us become better people? Can we get to this utopian world realistically if we just made different choices? It's all about choices.
We make the right choices and fight every day for what's right.
I thought you were gonna. I was right there for you. I was about to start playing some Star Trek Next Generation music behind you. We're gonna have a Picard speech.
Get beyond our differences. Look into our similarities. Not today we can't reach perfection. Maybe not tomorrow. Maybe not 10 years from now. But every day we strive to be more perfect. A more perfect union.
That was beautiful. Well, guys, was there anything else that you want to say about Star Trek in general or this movie before we get out of here?
There's one thing I'd like to say in a Picard voice.
What's that?
Her buns are the best.
Oh my god.
Her buns are the best.
Man, his best performance. I might have to put that in this video. Good. Well, guys, thank you for watching this. We do this every once in a while, so go ahead and leave a like and subscribe so you can get updates on new videos. Check us out on Twitter, IG, TikTok, likewise, Spotify, iTunes, Letterboxd, all the internet things at
thumbs
the
up.
Drunk Banthas. Until next time, live long and prosper, my little Vulcans, and may the Force be with you.
Star Trek. Top down.